welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Hello, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. It is Tuesday. What's the date today? May 23rd. Hope you guys are doing well. You know what? I'm like 3 minutes late, right? I had something on, it's the thing about these, I have to take a side note before I get into the show, right? The thing about, when you're doing these shows, I have a green screen in back of me, and for whatever reason, this happened to me before, and I don't understand why I keep doing this. I put on something that was green, and I didn't realize it until it was like 3 minutes till, and it will, because it won't show up properly on the screen, right? So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I ran upstairs, and whatever I could find that wasn't green, I put on. So there you go. And it's a good thing it's kind of cool today here in LA. I'm in LA, right, as you can see at the ticker. So it's kind of cool today. It's kind of a dreary, rainy, kind of cool day, right? So I'm like, well, maybe this is appropriate for now. People think, I'm in LA and it should be like sunny. Well, guess what? I got news for you. It ain't sunny in LA, okay? It hasn't been sunny in LA for quite some time, right? But anyway, so that's my story, right? And I'm sticking to it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. This is show number 209, right? It's May 23rd, show number 209. I appreciate you guys joining. And feel free to make comments, right? So this is live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. And you have that little chat box in front of you or at the bottom of you or the left or right of you. I'm not sure where it is, but feel free to make comments. Just say, hey, how you doing? And, hey, you look good. And you know what? It's worth the wait. Whatever the heck it is, right? You can go ahead and say that. But I do appreciate you guys, and I do appreciate, you guys being patient with me. Okay, so, and then for people that don't know, this is a podcast as well. So once it's completed, once the show is completed, I upload it to the Spotify, my podcast platform, and you can take me on the go. So you don't have to necessarily just sit here and watch me, right? You can take me on the go. Or if you want to watch the replay, say you didn't have a chance to do the live, right? This is live, right? So if I mess up, I can't say, okay, take two. Okay, we'll stop. I was just joking. Take two. I can't do that, right? So, but if you want to watch on a replay, you can watch it on the same platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn. But I also put that same video onto Facebook, Twitter, and is that it? Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, so it'll be Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So there you go. So what's new? You guys doing all right? Yeah. Yesterday I was as you can see, every week I try to change this up, right? I try to change my background, or if I'm actually in the hotel, I will let you know that. But this is the Hyatt House LAX, right? So Hyatt House was built in 2021. It was a conversion, meaning it was an office building that was converted to a hotel, a dual branded property. So it's actually a Hyatt House and a Hyatt Place in the same building, right? So, so if you never stayed at a dual branded hotel, or if you're not even familiar with Hyatt House and how Hyatt Place is, what's the difference, right? How can you tell the difference in the rooms? Because when I was getting the site tour yesterday from Mr. Sergio Marquez, who's the director of sales there, I asked him, because a lot of the dual branded properties, there's, what do you call it? Floor specific, like say, or area or end of building specific. So say you use it's a common elevator. So you have a common lobby, all that kind of stuff. It's common. So you get on the elevator, you go up, and say I went to the 5th floor. Normally, in some of these dual branded properties, you make a left. On the left side would be, one brand. On the other side would be another brand, right? Well, this one is like, it doesn't matter. It can be random floors, it can be random rooms. So if you can go to room 800 is a town place, Hyatt Place house, or Hyatt Place in room 800, and then the next one, the Hyatt Place or Hyatt House would be, room 801 would be a different room. It would be a different brand. So it could be a Hyatt Place in 801 and a Hyatt House in room 800. So it could be right next to each other. But the difference is a Hyatt House has a kitchen, has the, refrigerator and a stove and a microwave. The other ones don't have that. They just have a refrigerator. So that's the difference between a house and a place, just in case. Hopefully I was clear on that and I didn't confuse you even more than, I was confused when I first went there. I'm like, well, what is the difference between a house and a place? And I didn't know, but now I know. And, but it's kind of cool. It's still brand new, right? Like I said, it opened in 2021. That was, COVID was just over. I don't think it was really over at that time. But so it's a brand new property, LAX, next to the Sonesta, between the Sonesta and the Residence Inn by Marriott. That's where it's located. And it's off of Century Boulevard. So you ever there? And of course, somebody's asking this question. Of course they offer that Russell of Hotels rate. Come on now, you know that. We know that. But so we're growing this Russell of Hotels list of hotels that are offering that rate. So I'm gonna share with you guys in a minute a couple of the hotels that are offering it as well. So, but before I get into that, I got to get into my sponsor, right? So my sponsor is offering that Russell of Hotels rate. So this is the Level Hotel in Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles. So stayinglevel.com. Just go www.stayinglevel.com. Use promo code ROH23. What is ROH? Russell of Hotels, right? 23. So this is the year 2023, right? So there you go. So whatever rate I would get, this is the rate you would get. Okay. So if you are staying downtown, you got a convention, or if you have business downtown, or you just want to hang out downtown, right? This would be a good place to stay. You know why I like it? Because all the rooms are suites. So they're 1, 2, and 3 bedroom suites. 700 square feet is the smallest room you're going to get. 700. Your typical size of a guest room at a hotel is probably between, I'm going to say, and I may be generous when I say this, 300 to 350 square feet. Some of them are lower than that. Some are less than that. But I'm going to say typically 300, 350 square feet. Okay. That's your typical size for a standard hotel, any other hotel. But at the Level, same price as a hotel, but you got 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. Okay. Also comes with full kitchens and washer and dryers. Boom. There you go. So it's good for long-term stays, as well as it's good for, overnight stays as well. So you ever seen one? Let me just, why don't I just show you exactly what one would even look like. They have a pool as well. This is a view from from the building, or from the specific room. There's the kitchen. That's the living room, separate living room. And as you can see, I don't know if it kind of just, okay, right there. Okay, all rooms have balconies. All rooms have balconies. Did I say that? Did you hear that? All rooms have balconies. So yeah, so that's what the Level Los Angeles looks like. Okay, so if you're interested, you can just go stayinglevel.com, or if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me, because that's what I'm here. I'm here as a resource for people that don't know that. I try to be a resource for anyone that needs help with hotels, if that's, and I'll let you guys know exactly what I do, some of the things that I do, and basically how I can help. So I do these lives every day. I mean, in addition to this show that I do every Tuesday, right? And there's always 3 things that I always, when you're doing a live, you always want to let people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Okay, so going through the show, you'll find out, who I am already, right? One of the things I do is hotel site selection. And how I can help people is basically take that off your plate, right? If you do hotel site selection, you're a company and organization, maybe you're a meeting planner for a company and you don't have time to do the hotel site selection. That's where Russell of Hotels comes in. I will assist you with doing that, right? So I'll take that off your plate so you can, concentrate on the content of your meeting and not have to worry about, oh, I got to find this site or, whatever, or, ask for a contract and all that stuff. I guide you through that whole process. I'll do the process for you, but I'll let you know, I educate you along the way as to what I'll do. So there you go. Just a couple of things that I do. Let's see, where am I? Industry stuff. So I got a couple things to go over, right? So, and I get these, people always ask me, like, I can't believe you, first of all, they say, we appreciate you being consistent on doing the show. Yeah, I appreciate you guys knowing that I am consistent, right? So, but what they highlight all the time is like, how do you come up with your topics? How do you know what to talk about? How do you not run out of things to talk about? Well, in this industry, hotel, hospitality industry, there's always something going on, right? So it's hard not to come up with a topic or topics. Today, and sometimes I pull stuff from other people. I can pull things from, people that are having podcasts or maybe they just had a thought on LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram, whatever. I'll pull those things and I'll say, okay, I'll write a note and say, hey, I can talk about something like that. So these are bullet points, right? So update your LinkedIn profile. That's kind of self-explanatory, but a lot of people don't do that, right? They keep the same profile that they had several years ago and they've already changed jobs or maybe they have a different duties within the same job. Well, you want to make sure you update those things because people will look at that, right? People that you come in contact with, say you're a salesperson. Now, and I always do things from a hotel employee, specifically like sales manager perspective for the most part, okay? So say I'm a hotel sales manager, right, and I'm looking for another job, okay? Or maybe someone's looking for me, maybe they're trying to find someone and they just happen to be looking through, people's profiles and they see, okay, Russell Edmond, okay, they come across mine, they say, okay, oh, he used to be a director of sales and marketing or whatever. And so I have all these things, all these duties that I've done or all these positions that I've held, but they're updated, right? And it even it's updated as far as, what I'm doing now, as far as content creating, hotel site selection and being a hospitality personality, which means I have this show and and I'm a brand show off, right? So I show off people's brands, just like I'm showing off a brand now. I'm showing off the Hyatt House Hotel. I mean, the backdrop is the Hyatt House Hotel. So those are things that people will go to your LinkedIn profile. If you apply to a specific job, what are they going to do? They're just going to look at your resume and just take your word for it written on this resume. No, they're going to go to your profile and see if all that stuff jives, if it's consistent, meaning, and then they'll form an opinion based on that. So make sure you keep that up to date. Update your profile. If you need to do it several times a year, then you need to do it several times a year, right? If you've been you're adding duties to what you currently do, well, make sure you put that stuff out there because people are watching. You need to have that social media presence, and your social media presence needs to be updated on a regular basis. So make sure we're doing that, okay? Follow up with clients who have turned you down. Now, what the heck does that mean? That's a good one, Russell. We're waiting. We're waiting to hear. What does this mean? Well, okay, and I always have stories, right? I always got a story, but following up with clients who have turned you down, meaning, okay, I do hotel site selection, right? So which means I'm sending out RFPs, requests for proposals all the time, right? To different hotels or whatever, based on what the client needs, right? Based on what my clients needs. Okay, so we all know that everyone who submits a proposal after I've sent that RFP, that everyone is not going to be selected, okay? We all know that, right? There's winners and losers, right? There's people that get the business and people that don't. But that's okay if you don't get the business. You know that, okay, now you made contact, or at least I made contact with you initially, and you made contact with me because you responded to my RFP in the form of a proposal. Okay, so I got your proposal. It just didn't fit for this particular group. Well, who's to say it's not going to fit for any future groups that I have? So why not take this opportunity to follow up and say, hey, what's going on? I'm just following up on the proposal you sent. Well, it went to XYZ company or XYZ hotel. Oh, okay. Well, do you have any other, is it okay if I keep in touch with you? Do you have any other, groups that may be suitable for my hotel or whatever your sales spiel is? But you need to create that relationship at this point, right? Is it okay if I reach out to you every so often? Because a lot of people don't do that. They just say they didn't get it. Boom. Okay, whatever. I didn't get it. Move on to the next. Well, no, that's the opportunity right there to say, hey, okay, I know you have other businesses or business for hotels in this area. So what other groups do you have? What other groups, can you, share with me, or what other groups you have coming up in the following months or the following years or whatever? Because it's all about getting that business, right? It's all about starting that relationship to get that business, right? But if you just, I didn't get the business, well, then I'll just move on. Well, no, that's not the way to do it. Okay. Not everyone is going to get the business. Okay. Even the people that get the business, you need to be asking the question, well, do you have anything else? You know what I mean? Okay. This one hasn't even come in yet, but that's okay. Do you have anything else? So make sure we are following up. Just because you got turned down does not mean there's not potential there. What about transient business? I know that we're always focused on our jobs, right? But sometimes as salespeople, we need to be focused on the entire hotel or our colleagues, right? You have a colleague that may be, they may be in charge of the IBT market, individual business travel market, or whatever. I'm just using this as an example, okay? What about IBT? Okay, I understand you don't have any other group business. What about IBT business? Do you have any individual business travelers or anything like that? Oh, as a matter of fact, I do. Okay, well then, is it okay if I pass your information along to Joe Smith? Joe Smith is my colleague, and I'll have him give you a call regarding that. Okay, that'll be great. Boom, there you go. So ask those extra questions. Don't just, okay, I didn't get anything, so they're on their own. No, ask those extra questions. That's what we need to do. Ask the extra questions because we never know where it's going to lead. But first and foremost, you need to establish a relationship. This is an opportunity to build that rapport, that relationship, right? So that's how it should be, but a lot of times it's not. But let me give you an example, okay? Let me give you another example of what happened, how I have a contact now at the Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, LAX, okay? Same scenario that I just mentioned to you, right? Where I sent out an RFP, many hotels responded, right, or submitted a proposal. One of those hotels, one of those people was the director of sales at the Hyatt Place, Hyatt House, and that's Sergio Marquez. Okay, so he responded, and he recognized my name, right, from giving me a site tour at another hotel some years ago before COVID, right? So he picks up the phone. He has the nerve, right? He has the nerve to actually pick up the phone and call me. I'm like, who's this? This doesn't normally happen. He had the nerve, the audacity of this Sergio Marquez to pick up the phone and call me. So he called me. I hope you guys know I'm being facetious here. Facetious. Okay, I'm joking, right? But he called me. More salespeople should do this. So he called me and said he followed up on the RFP, and he said, "Hey, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I gave you a site tour of the Aloft Fairfield Inn, which is in El Segundo, and this was, like I said, this was before COVID, I believe." And I said, "I remember that, right? Because the hotel wasn't even open yet; it was under construction." And he showed me what he could show me, right? So I said, yeah, of course I remember you. And then, I said some things that made him know that I remembered him, right? He said, oh my God, you do remember me. I said, yeah, I sure do. He went out of his way to show me around, and really he didn't have to, because part of the stuff was under construction, but hard hat tour. He was all for it, and I appreciate that, right? So I appreciated that. So he showed me around, and then, so he remembered me, right? So he said, oh, by the way, whatever happened to that RFP that I sent, the proposal I sent? I said, well, it ended up going to another hotel in the area. And he asked which hotel, and I told him which hotel and why. And he said, okay, well, do you have anything else? Just like that, right? And I told him, I said, hey, Not at the moment, but now that we have this relationship, I'll keep you in mind for some future things that could come up for LAX. And he went along to say, "Have you been to our hotel lately?" I said, "Well, I've been in there once, but it was just in the lobby." He said, "Why don't you come for a site tour and we can have lunch?" Boom. Relationship. Can you feel that? Okay, you know what I'm talking about now, right? So I went yesterday, right? So I went yesterday. I actually called him on Friday and said, because he had sent me an email. Okay, okay. Let me back up. So after we got off the phone, or when we're on the phone, he said, "I'm gonna send you my information so you have it, and then you can call me or email me and let me know, what will work for you, what time will work for you." Well, I waited about a week because I got busy with some other stuff, right? But on Friday, this past Friday, I emailed him and said, "Hey, I have availability on Monday. I know it's short notice, but can you fit me in? Is it possible?" And he said, "Yeah, Monday's cool. Let's do it." So yesterday I went in. He gave me the whole dog and pony show, and it's amazing that I thought I knew everything about that hotel, but he showed me some things that I never seen. He showed me they have a penthouse. I want to say it's like it's banquet space or event space on the rooftop, right? Has a bar in there, has a separate kitchen. It has views of the airport that are outstanding, that are phenomenal, okay? And it seats is I think it can accommodate at least 60 people. I told him I said like 60 to 100. That's what I said, but I can see about 60 to 70 comfortably up there. But it has its own bar, has its own kitchen. It's on the pool area. One side is the pool. The other side they have like seating areas outside. You can see the entire airport, unobstructed view of the airport, planes coming in, planes leaving. And this was during the day when I went. I said I can just imagine the vibe that you get at night because of the lights and the planes coming and going. Oh man, I'm like, man, people need to know about this, right? And this is the thing that really, not really got me, but the hotel, he's the first director of sales. Now, mind you, I told you it opened up in 2021. He's the first director of sales to be there. They just put a sales team there not too long ago because they were selling it from another property, which didn't give this property enough justice, right? This is a property, it's like it's 300, over 300 rooms, right? With the house, the Hyatt House and the Hyatt Place. So they didn't give this hotel enough justice, right? So now they have their own team there. In fact, he's forming a team now. It's just him and his coordinator. So he needs a sales manager there, right? So this hotel is about to take off. I'm just saying, this hotel is about to take off because it is very unique. I've seen Hyatt House and Hyatt Places before, but this is like it's on a different level, right? Just the way it's decorated, the way it's the aesthetics of it. I mean, it's just another level hotel, right? So you need to check it out. So if you're ever in the LAX area, Hyatt Place, Hyatt House. Director of Sales is Sergio Marquez. Okay, so I know it took me a while to get all this out, but it's important that we know as salespeople, once you get turned down, what do you do with that? You don't just say, okay, well, move on to something else, I guess. No, you want to build that rapport, that relationship with that hotel that turned you down, because the next time they may not. Remember, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. The more noise you make, the more likely I'm going to remember who you are. There you go. And although I didn't have any group business for him right now, guess what? Transient business is coming. And guess where it's going at LAX? It's going to the Hyatt Place and Hyatt House. So there you go. So I'm trying to establish relationships, LAX, downtown, some of the like Santa Monica, the Valley. I'm trying to establish the South Bay. I'm trying to establish all these kind of relationships. The Inland Empire, Orange County. I know every hotel is not going to offer the Russell of Hotels rate. I know that, right? But guess what? There's a few that will. And those are the ones that I'm going to, I guess I got to concentrate on all of them because I don't know which ones are going to offer that rate. But you just have to start in your backyard, right? Remember, as far as business is concerned, salespeople, start in your backyard. a 5 mile radius around where your hotel is located, especially if you're doing like IBT, individual business travel. You want to start in your backyard. Just draw a circle around your hotel, 5 mile radius. Try try those businesses around there. Saturate all those businesses around there before you branch out outside of that 5 mile radius. I do the same thing. Okay, I want relationships with hotels in certain areas, downtown, and that's probably within 5 miles of where I live, right? So I'm concentrating on those. Airport is probably 2 miles from where I live. Okay, so airport, Santa Monica, the Valley, downtown, South Bay. So I'm concentrating on those areas to build relationships with the salespeople so I can offer that Russell of Hotels rate for my clients. Because not every client that I have needs group, they don't have group needs. They have, a lot of them have transient needs, meaning they only need single reservations. And we all know that transient business is down, right? So you're trying to get whatever you can. Okay, so I'm here to help. There you go. So boom. Okay, so that was follow up with clients. So I kind of beat that one to death, didn't I? New relationships equals ROH rate. And I just said all of that, right? So the more relationships I get, the more rates, more hotels are going to offer that ROH rates, just like the downtown property, the Level Hotel, which is one of the sponsors for this hotel. But guess what? AC Hotel, Moxie Downtown, they just offered it as well. They offered that same rate as well. In fact, I have a link. So anyone else wants it, because every hotel is not for everyone, okay? And those are things that we need to establish. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's for you, okay? The AC and Moxie are different types of hotel, or the Moxie is a different type of hotel, right? It's a vibe, right? It's kind of funky. Not everybody's going to like that hotel. So just like not everyone's going to like the AC, not everyone's going to like the Hyatt House or Hyatt Place, and maybe not everyone will like the Level Hotel either. So it's beneficial to me to have a relationship with different types of hotels because I never know where people want to stay, okay? So I have one client now that it's 3 of them traveling, right? But they know the cost would be higher if they have 3 different rooms. And I pitched the idea of the Level because the Level has 1 room with 3 bedrooms. You know, they have a common space. They have the kitchen is common, the living room is common, but they all have their separate bedrooms, and these separate bedrooms close and lock. That would be great. That would be ideal for this. And they're staying for like a week and a half. So this is like a long-term stay. So instead of having 3 separate rooms, 3 separate individual rooms, they can have 1 room with 3 bedrooms. Boom, solve the issue, right? She goes, they have hotels like that? I said, yeah. Downtown has a Level, and I sent her the link and everything, the website, and I said, let me take care of this for you. So that's how this stuff is supposed to work, right? So new relationships with AC Hotel, Moxie Downtown, Hyatt House, Hyatt Place. So you don't have to call them, just call me. Reach out to me. Reach out in touch. So just reach out to me, and then I'll make it happen, okay? So that's what it's all about. That's called personalized service. That's called hospitality that only On Air with Russell Hotels can do. So, woo, okay. These are 3 things I always mention. Be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Be you. And number 3, be represented, because my representation matters. It matters to me. Let me take the first one first. So be intentional. So make decisions or do things that are important to you. So it's important that I do this show, right? It's important that I talk about hospitality, my experiences. And remember that a lot of things I talk about are based on me. They're based on my experiences. They're not based on, what I read in the book, or, some stuff is maybe I may have read in a, something current, like a magazine article or whatever. And I'm just, having a discussion about it, right? But a lot of the experiences are based on my experiences. Just like I just gave the example of the RFP and if you lose business, what do you do with that business? Well, that's what I used to do back when I was on property, right? Just because you lose something doesn't mean that's it and there's no other business out there. No, there is business out there. You just got to ask for it. You have to build these relationships. That's what it takes, right? You just don't get things on the, just like you get up there and you're going to try to hit a home run, right? and you swing and you strike out, 3 strikes and you're out, right? Well, you got to get another at bat, right? So you just got to take your swings, right? So continue to swing for the fences, right? And it's okay if you get a base hit every now and then, okay? Everybody's not going to hit a home run, but it's okay if you get you a double or a single or even a triple sometimes. So there you go. I'm just throwing out this baseball analogy, and I don't even like baseball. But so be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Be you, meaning whatever your personality is, be you. Don't try to, don't be fake, because people will know that you're fake, okay? Don't fake the funk, okay? And that's one thing that I try not to do, and that's one thing I don't do, right? Is play like I'm somebody else. No, I'm Russell, and it's tough enough trying to be Russell Edmond, and I want to be somebody else, okay? So just like you don't want to be Russell, right? You want to be you. So be, and I hate to say this, be the best version of you. No, just be you. Just be real. Don't be fake, because people will be able to see through you, especially on social media. You should be the same way, right? You shouldn't, okay, I got this persona of this wild and crazy dude on social media, but really you're just like this meek and mild person that's like wouldn't hurt a fly, but on social media you're like this beast. You know what I mean? No. Be the same. Be the same. It should not be. You shouldn't be fake on social media, or vice versa. Okay. The way I am here is the way I am in life. Okay. Ask anybody and they'll tell you. Okay. Because I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to be me. And if that means being me, bringing information and being a resource, that's me. That's what I'm trying to do, right? But I'm not going to be fake along the way. I'm not going to lie and make up stuff to get something. That's not how it should work, right? So, but it's easy to see that. Is this person genuine? It's easy to see that. And I think after doing 209 shows, anyone that has watched more than one show would know that, no, this dude he ain't fake. He ain't faking it. This is how he is. He's a jerk on the show and a jerk in real life. Number 3, be represented, because my representation matters. And it matters that people that look like me do shows like this or share their experiences. And I'm not afraid to say that because it is important, right? Because I want people to know that anybody can do what I'm doing. Anybody can be in this hospitality space. Anybody can amass the experiences that I have. You just got to work, and you got to bust your butt, got to bust your hump. But you can achieve it. And if you want to do a show like this, you can do it, because there's tons of shows out there that people start. They don't necessarily continue, but they start. Did you know that the average podcast, there's probably 2.5 million podcasts out there right now as we speak. 2.5 million, probably more than that. But the average length of a podcast only goes 6 episodes. Okay, so there's a lot of people out there doing podcasts, because people always say, well, isn't there enough podcasts out there? Yeah, there's probably a lot of podcasts out there, but not a lot of them are current. They start them and they get frustrated and you're like, oh, this not working or whatever. Well, I guess it depends on what are you trying to get across? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve, right? So just remember that no, just because there's 2.5 million, is there room for more? Heck yeah, there's room for more, because everybody is an individual. Everybody has their own ideas of doing things. I put a different spin on things because my experience is different. I come from a different background. I'm a different person. So I can be talking to it could be 2 different people talking about the same subject matter, and each one of us is going to deliver it different. And each one of us has our own people that are going to roll with us, right? Our own community, if you will, right? So just always keep that in mind. So if you're on the fence about doing something like this, I would say do it. Because if you're on the fence, that means you've thought about it more than once, right? So why not do it? What the heck? You got nothing to lose, right? Maybe some sleep and a little time, but that's okay. All right. You can get that back some other time. That was a good one, right? Okay. All right. So be intentional, be you, and be represented, because your representation matters. What do I do? Okay. So a lot of people are like, what the heck does this guy do? What else does he do? Okay. I'm the brand who helps out your brand, who helps your brand, right? What do I do and how I can help you? Hospitality personality, content creator, sales training for general managers, hotel site selection, right? So those are things that I do. I do, many other things. It just depends. Everything's in the hospitality, the world of hospitality, right? Or hotels specifically. So content creating. To me, content creating goes hand in hand with content creating. To me, goes hand in hand with hotel site selection. Because if you notice, every hotel that I have gone to, I post something about it, right? Because first of all, I never know if my clients are ever going to need those hotels, right? And two, it shows you maybe you didn't know about this hotel, so I'm giving you information about this hotel. And three, it's branding for that hotel, right? It ain't asked for it. I put it out there. So just like I'm right in the bedroom or the living room of this Hyatt House LAX, right? So content creating, this is creating content. The whole show On Air with Russell of Hotels is based on content creating. Okay, it just so happens that right now I'm not really talking about Russell of Hotels. I'm talking about this hotel, this Hyatt House LAX. I'm creating content. I'm showing off this brand. Hence the name that if you guys see sometimes that I post, I'm a brand show off. That's where that all comes from. Okay, that comes from me showing off brands, and I show off these brands when I'm doing hotel site, selection tours or just site tours. Just like yesterday, I went for lunch with Sergio at the Hyatt House LAX, right? So I told him I take a lot of pictures. I said, dude, I take a lot of pictures. And he's like, well, why do you take all these pictures? And I'm like, because I post them. And I have he didn't know about the talk show. So of course I explained to him and had to educate him on the talk show and asked him to be a guest on the show as well. Right. So he's like, oh, this is great. Okay, let's do it. Let's make it happen. So my job is to create brand identity for wherever I am, right? So if that's at the Hyatt House LAX, then that's or it's the Level, or it's the Moxy, or it's the AC, whatever hotel I happen to be in, you're gonna know. There ain't no guessing game. Last week I was at the Hotel Figueroa downtown, right? So I created content for that as well, for the experience that I had. So whatever I'm experiencing, you're gonna experience it through my content creating. Okay, because I think it goes hand in hand. To me, they both go hand in hand, and I would be doing a disservice to that hotel brand if I did not post things about it. Okay, so that's a calling card. Okay, instead of having giving calling cards out, this is a calling card that continues to give. Right, it stays there. It's not going anywhere unless I delete it, and I never delete any of my posts. Right, so it's always there. So there you go. Boom. Okay, so I said that part. Who's your best brand advocate? Who's your best brand advocate? I'll give you guys a couple minutes to figure that one out. Who's your best brand advocate? You are, of course, right? So, and it goes back to just me, not necessarily, it's not about, patting yourself on the back, right? It's about tooting your own horn, I guess, right? You want to make sure people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help. So that goes with being your best brand advocate. So you are that, right? What if I relied on everyone else to tell, hey, I'm Russell of Hotels and I have this hospitality talk show? What if I relied on other people to do that, to post things for me? It would never get done, right? So you have to be your best brand advocate. So if you work for a hotel, you have to let people know that, because as much work that we do into putting in that, telling people that, oh, this is what I do, everyone doesn't remember what you do. Okay, believe me, they don't know what you do. All right. So make sure we are, and this is a reason why I do what I do, meaning I post a lot, I do these shows, I do this On Air with Russell of Hotels once a week, but I also do other things to support this show or to support the brand. Okay, so I do this show On Air with Russell of Hotels on Tuesday, but every day, Monday through Friday, I do lives. I do a daily check-in. It's called Daily Check-in with Russell of Hotels. I do it on this same platform, YouTube and LinkedIn. Also, I do one on Instagram. Then I post, right? So, and then I cross-pollinate. What does that mean? Cross-pollinate. I take this same video and I post it on other platforms. I never want to rely on one platform because the reason why is that not everyone will utilize my services. So I have to reach the people that it's not about, remember this, social media is not about the people that follow you, it's about the people who don't follow you, okay? You want to reach those people, okay? And a lot of time, well, most times, no matter what you post, like say, no matter how many followers you have, you're never going to reach all of those followers with one post. So it is beneficial that you continue to post because you're going to reach different people. Now, if people start sharing, then you're going to reach the people that follow them or that they're connected to, right? So I always want to make sure I remember to say, hey, make sure you share this. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you share this post because it's sharing to people that may not even follow me anyway. And hashtags make a big difference too, right? So when you hashtag certain things, it's going to reach more people or a different set of people. So just remember, if I have on LinkedIn, okay, let's just say LinkedIn, I have 26,000 people that I'm connected with. Do you think this show right now is connected to 26,000 people? No, it's not. So that's why I have to continue to do it. It's not about the people that are rolling with me that see this video. It's about the people that haven't seen it. So I always ask people to share the video, right? So share it, and then that way it does reach other people. But just look at you know, your favorite people that you follow on social media platforms, like, you know, on Instagram, and they got millions of followers, but everything they post doesn't reach those millions of people. It's basically between, I want to say, I don't know, 3 to 5% that you'll probably reach, somewhere around there. So I watch like The Rock. The Rock has, I don't know, 200 million people or something that follow him or whatever. But he doesn't reach that many people when he posts on a basic post. He doesn't reach that many people. He doesn't reach the 200 million people that follow him. He may reach well over 1 million. That's fine, right? I would think that's cool. But if you look at the percentages, that may be kind of low. He only reaching 1 million people and he has over 200 million followers. I mean, think about it like that. So that's how it works, right? So you're never going to reach everybody. But the more consistent you are, you're going to reach different people. And that's what you want, okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. And feel free to make, if you didn't hear me earlier, make comments. You want to make comments, feel free. That's what it's all about. It's all about making comments, engagement. Okay, now you know all that. How do you keep your brand relevant? Okay. There's a couple things. Consistency. You always want to stay consistent, right? You can't do it one time and think, oh, well, I did it. I posted last week. You posted last week, and I didn't get any business yet. Well, it ain't gonna work like that. I don't know how many conversations I had with general managers. Well, this social media thing, you spend time on that. Have we received any business from that? Dude, really? Is this what we're doing right now? That's not how it works. Okay, that's not how it works. You don't post one time and think you can get this overwhelming, this business just falling out of the trees. It doesn't work like that. It's meant to kind of support the other efforts that you're doing, right? So, meaning your sales efforts and things like that. It's social media is like, okay, let me just use this as an example. Have a presence without being present. Okay, we all know as a salesperson, we want to be in front of people, right? Either we're on the phone with people or we want to be, over lunch, dinner, at a trade show, we want to be across from someone. Well, that's not possible to always be, across from somebody or in the same room with. But how can you have a presence without being present? Well, social media is a good that's a good start, right? So think of it like that now, okay? It supports your other efforts, okay? Is it going to take the place of that? No, it can't take the place of face-to-face thing, right? But one thing that we found during COVID is that the people that had more of a presence, now people remember who they are, right? Remember, a lot of these shows blew up because they still had a presence, although they weren't present in front of people, right? We started doing Zooms and all that. Remember that stuff? So just think about that and what happened. You still have to continue doing that, though. You can't just stop like, oh, well, I'm not going to do it now. Well, no, you have to do it more now, I would think, because you're still not going to be in front of people. And the people that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. It goes back to that, right? So if I'm that squeaky wheel, if I'm the one that's making all the noise, or you see me all the time, right? Well, that's by design. That's not by accident. It's by design, right? And it should be that. It should be intentional. Okay, it should be intentional or by design that more people starting to see me and then know what I do and know how I can help. Okay, that's all by design. And anybody can do that, right? But you got to be consistent. Oh, what happened? Oh, what did I do? What am I doing? Okay, consistency. I missed what I was doing. Okay. Value. Make sure you're adding value. So be consistent, add value. I'm telling these stories. Hopefully those stories resonate with somebody, right? As far as, adding value, starting with your backyard and all that kind of stuff, or starting a podcast and knowing that, only, 6 episodes is the thing, right? That's the breaking point. Anything over 6 episodes, meaning you're in rare air, right? So hopefully I'm adding some value to that, or maybe just, the whole sales process of not giving up. Just because you got turned down, you want to make sure that you continue to, or at least start building that relationship for the next group that comes, or transient business or whatever. But we have to ask those questions. We just can't assume that people are going to give us anything, right? We have to, and your sales, right? Your sales, so which means we got to rattle the trees and see what falls out, right? If we're not even rattling the trees, then we shouldn't expect anything. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, remember? And I remember just yesterday, just having a conversation with Sergio, and he mentioned that when he first started in sales, he was, he was not, I don't know if shy is the right word to use, but having a conversation with people was difficult. Just kind of out of the blue. Salespeople, you got to just start a conversation with anybody, right? That's how it should be. But he was saying that, when he first started, that wasn't the case, right? So he had to build up to this because he had a different respect for, say, some of the people, like, say, a VP or whatever. So if he's talking to a VP, why would they talk to me, kind of thing? But, he just basically had to, I guess, make these people smaller than what they were, right? So, and I understood what he meant by that. Like, okay, you have this VP that you're talking to, and you're talking about, bringing business to your hotel, whatever, but you see him in this, as this huge title, and why is he talking to me? But if you shrink him, in your mind, like, he's no bigger than I am. You know what I mean? He puts on his pants the same way I put on mine. He drives a car just like I do. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to reach people. However it takes mentally, you need to reach people. You need to go out and talk to people, right? Because I gave him this example that I invite people to come on the show, and a lot of them are salespeople, and they don't want to come on because they're afraid to come on and talk. I'm like, to me, it's the easiest thing, but I've done 209 shows, right? And I've been on probably another 15 to 20 of someone else's shows, right? So yeah, I'm used to doing it, but it wasn't always this easy to do it, right? But you got to start somewhere. Okay, so you got to start somewhere. I'll just leave it at that. You got to start somewhere. Let's see what else. And then be authentic. That goes with being real, right? Don't be fake. Don't fake the funk. Just be as real as you can be, right? So be consistent, add value, be authentic. Those are ways to increase your social media engagement. And this is a way to, even as a salesperson, just to to put your brand out there, whatever your hotel happens to be. You got to be consistent. You want to add value, but you got to let them know what that value is, and be you, be real. It's the same thing. It's just that I'm using this as social media engagement, but it's the same thing if you're meeting with someone, right? You want to be consistent. You want to continuously see these people, or call them, or contact, email them, whatever your way of communication is. You want to do that. You want to make sure you're adding value to what the conversation you're having. Hey, you can utilize my hotel. It's right down the street from your office. Whatever, we do all these different things in a hotel for your guests and all that stuff. And then you have to be authentic, right? You got to continuously, not necessarily be in their face, but you want to be real, right? Whatever that means to you, you want to be real, because like I said, regardless if it's social media or in real life, people will see right through you. Boom. And what do I use? So once you know all that stuff, what are some of the tools that I use? I use Reels, right? Instagram Reels. Reels are made to reach people that don't, that are not connected with you. Okay, like we use, the shorts, YouTube shorts, and I do lives, right? So, what am I trying to say? Reels are made. Stories. Okay, okay. So there's posting, stories, and Reels. Okay, we're speaking of Instagram. So Reels are made to find new people. You reach people that don't follow you, right? So sometimes you'll post things and you'll get more people that responded or more engagement than the people that actually follow you, right? So say I had 1,500 people and I got responses back from 2,500 people, right? Well, a lot of those people don't even follow me. And that's only because Reels, that's how Reels work, right? Now for stories, those are for people that already follow you, okay? And like your regular postings are for people that already follow you. Even the lives that you do sometimes can be just for the people that just follow you, right? So only Reels are made or designed to reach people that don't follow you. So just so you know how the difference between that on Instagram. Now, shorts are YouTube. So those are called YouTube shorts, which are similar to Reels or similar to TikTok, okay? And then, of course, I put lives as well. And don't sleep on TikTok, okay? More people go to TikTok to find out where people are going, traveling to, than anywhere. I mean, yeah, you got Pinterest too, right? But, Pinterest is not fun like TikTok, right? So you get people, you go to TikTok for, to see all the whatever entertainment or whatever silliness. But there are hotels that actually will put things on there. And there's people that will basically unsolicited just basically say, hey, this is where I am, this is where I'm going, that kind of thing, and they'll make it fun or whatever. I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and she told me she was going to this winery in San Juan Capistrano, right? I didn't even know there was a winery in San Juan Capistrano. But I said, well, how'd you know about this winery? She said, I saw someone on TikTok talking about it, or they were showing it a video on TikTok. She goes, that's how she's been traveling throughout California. Like on weekends, she'll take different side trips or whatever. And she goes, all the trips that I've taken have been because I've seen somebody talk about it and show it on TikTok. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, I do it all the time. I look at TikTok all the time. So, when I see something that's interesting in California that I can get to maybe in a couple hours, I take advantage of it. I'm like, wow, okay, who knew? So there you go. So don't sleep on TikTok, because a lot of people do. Oh, there's people acting silly. Yeah, there's people on there acting silly. Yeah. But you got to remember, who are the demographics for TikTok? We all think there's just a bunch of kids on there. But remember this. All the kids cannot be on there. If you're under 18, you have to have someone that has to have an account, right? So normally an adult would set up the account. So an adult is monitoring what's going on. So who's watching, who is, what are the demographics though? What is the biggest demographic on TikTok? Working mothers, from what I understand, okay? Like 30% are working mothers on TikTok who watch TikTok because they're watching their kids do these silly videos. They're probably on the other side. They're probably the ones with the camera, doing the videos, right, for the kids. So look at the demographics of different platforms, because you may be sleeping on these. You may not even know or think about that, TikTok is, working mothers. And who makes decisions in a household for the most part? The mothers do, right? So there you go. Think about it like that. We sleeping on stuff. We be sleeping. Who's hiring in non-meat eats? I don't have a lot of non-meat eats today. Today's Taco Tuesday. I'm not sure what I'm gonna make today. I've been on this mushroom kick lately. I'm not sure if you guys know that, but I eat mushrooms like almost every day. A different type of mushroom. It can be portobello. It can be shiitake. It can be king, creminis. It can be a plethora, a button. It can be a plethora of mushrooms, right? But I'm on this mushroom kick. But anyway, so who's hiring? Real quick, Hyatt Place, Hyatt House, LAX. They're looking for a sales manager. I mentioned that earlier. So follow up with Sergio Marquez. Okay, he's the director of sales there. Hyatt Place, LAX. Hyatt Place, Hyatt House, LAX. Looking for a sales manager. Hotel Per LA, downtown LA, they're looking for a general manager of food and beverage, GM of F&B. Okay. Element Hotel Anaheim, they're looking for a general manager. And then do you guys know about searchwide.com? Now, these are for people that are interested in like the DMO space, the destination marketing organizations, or CVBs, right? This is where they post their positions, right? Did you know that? Searchwide.com. So SEARCHWIDE.com. Searchwide.com. So if you're interested in those positions, and some of those could be, there could be some entry level positions on there, but a lot of them are, it can be like director of sales of a CVB or things like that, Convention and Visitors Bureau. It could be those kind of positions that are open too. But yeah, check them out. And that's not just local here in Los Angeles. This is nationwide. So check that out. See, I'm all about being a resource, right? So there you go. So if you didn't know about that, and I think it's the first time I actually mentioned that. So if you didn't know that, now you know. Now you know. 3 Ps. So we're on the home stretch here. We're about to be done up in this piece. So, but I started like 3 minutes late, okay, but we're almost done here. So, the 3 Ps, right? Purpose, passion, perseverance. This is Russell of Hotels, 3 Ps. Purpose, know why you do what you do. I know exactly why I do this show, right? I want to be a resource. I want to amass relationships to help people out, to help you guys out there, right? If you need hotels, for your groups, for your transient business, you need consultant within your hotel, marketing, branding, social media, content creating. Those are things that I do, right? So those are just a couple of things that I do. Training for general managers on the sales process, what they should be looking for, how should they be managing their salespeople? I mean, those are things, because a lot of GMs come and they don't have a lot of sales experience. Not a lot of them, but some of them come, they don't have a lot of sales experience, right? And which you should. I think you need to have more, as a GM, I think you need to have more sales and marketing experience over anything else. Because I remember back in the day, every GM that came up had food and beverage experience. Okay, right. Okay, good. That was great. That was fun. But I think in the climate that we're on now, it's all about marketing. It's all about getting people on the same page. It's all about getting that business that maybe the director of sales or the salespeople can't get. Maybe they need that heavy hitter, that general manager to go out and do some sales calls, or at least a company, or support the sales efforts. I just think that, yeah, the GMs today need to have more marketing. And the salespeople, the director of sales and marketing, I think that needs to be director of marketing and sales, because marketing is a bigger piece than the selling piece. I think that's just what I think, right? I think we're missing out on a lot of stuff when we don't market effectively and efficiently, and we're marketing to the wrong people. Instead of doing target marketing, we're just like doing this shotgun approach, like whatever we get, we get. Well, we got to look at what goes on at that particular hotel. You know what I mean? Or that particular area that hotel is located in. And sometimes I think we can just be shooting in the wind and not knowing what the heck we're shooting at. You know what I mean? Like, well, whatever we get, we get. No, there needs to be a plan. There needs to be a direction when it comes to marketing. It's not just oh, we just happen to get this. No, you got it because of your efforts, not because you just happen to get it. Yes, sometimes we do get lucky on things, but there has to be a plan behind that. Okay, luck does happen, but normally we have a plan, and we do call it luck sometimes. Oh, I got this, and okay, that's great, right? But there was a plan in place. That normally is called that marketing plan, right? That marketing plan that we do and we never look at again. Um, we need to apply those things on a regular basis. Okay, so boom, there you go. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Passion. Either you have it or you don't. And you know what advice I give for people that don't have passion for what they do? Go do something else. If you don't have passion for what you're doing, just go do something else, and that's okay. No harm, no foul. Perseverance. Be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up and swerve when you need to. Now, on air with Russell of Hotels, we swerve. We don't pivot. Okay, so pivoting to me is you're in it. You see it, but you're going it anyway, right? And you're like, well, now what do I do? Well, swerving, you see the whatever in the horizon, the crap in the horizon, and you swerve around it. You don't hit it. You swerve before it even becomes a problem. Okay, so it's all about identifying what's ahead of you. Okay, you shouldn't be looking back anyway. What's ahead of you? Stay focused on what's ahead, and then if you see something that doesn't look right, you need to swerve around it, not get into it and then okay, well now I got to pivot. Well, no, swerve around it. You shouldn't even be anywhere near it anyway. So there you go. That's it. That's on air with Russell of Hotels. I appreciate you guys joining today. I do this show every single week, Monday through no, not what am I saying? Every single week, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST, right? So that's Pacific Standard Time. I'm live here in Los Angeles. Once again, I'm Russell Edmond, but I go by the name of Russell of Hotels. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you again next week. And it's Taco Tuesday, so make sure you guys, enjoy some tacos or something, on me. All right.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.